All right, welcome back, everybody, to Don't Care, Didn't Ask weekly podcast.
Where's the beep?
There's no fucking beef this time.
I wasn't ready for the start. I was looking up into the distance.
We're not recording separately. We're just doing the Discord call. So I don't need to line up any videos.
I'll stop watching YouTube then.
Well, we're gonna put this on you. Oh, you mean like you're personally watching YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, you are slow,
you can
aren't you?
Listen here.
Old age.
That all established. So how was you guys this week?
Yeah, good. Coronavirus is rearing its head again. I mean, it never stopped rearing its head for you guys. So, but yeah, we thought we had it under control, and now it's back in force. So, I'm just outside of the lockdown area, but the house I just bought is inside it. So the house I just bought is sitting there empty, which is kind of frustrating.
Just move in.
I mean, how long is the lockdown?
6 weeks at least.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
I'd rather have the freedom of movement and have to pay rent and mortgage rather than move in and then not be able to do anything.
I do have a story. This is more for Jerry than it is for you, Michael.
Okay.
Hear it.
But here's what happened at work this week. Now, usually nothing goes on, right? However, I have a coworker that I was telling you guys about earlier, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
He builds and sells AR-15s.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about, he asked me if I wanted to buy one, and I was like, well, maybe I could use a second one. And I was texting my buddy at the time, and I was just kind of fucking around with him. I was like, well, I know another guy who does hydro dipping. What if I took apart, hydro dipped like the barrel, the lower receiver, that stuff, like a golden yellow, but keep like the handguard, the grip, and the stock black?
So you're making like a bumblebee gun?
Yeah. And I told him,
I hate you.
That way when I go to the range, I can say buzz, buzz, motherfuckers. And I was like, that was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that. Right? And then my buddy texts me back. He's like, nah, here's what you got to do. You mess with the bumble, you get the rumble. Get that painted on it.
I hate you guys.
I had a look of abject horror when you were just like, oh yeah, my friend makes AR-15s. How is that legal?
Oh,
that's insane.
Oh, yeah.
That's
why
legal.
is that not legal?
Yeah.
What do you mean, why is that not legal?
You just buy all the parts and you put it together and then you test it.
AR-15s are legal. If you can buy parts for an AR-15, you can just buy them and make them.
Yeah, of course, but on-selling them shouldn't be, surely.
So, it depends on like your local state laws, but even if you were to buy all the parts, especially if it's a like die-cast lower, you would then take it to a gun shop, register it, and register that it is being sold by you to this person. So even though you're not like an actual firearm seller, all like firearms still go through that.
Yeah.
However, I have a completely unserialized AR-15 lower in my closet at this very moment because you can buy 80% lowers and get them drilled out on your own. You can go to like most of these gun shops that do it, so then it isn't serialized by any sort of maker, and you have to drill it out yourself. However, they have presets, so it's basically like hit this button, hit go, and it does it for you.
And that's why I'm going through him.
So it's complete, like if you were to buy it from like Arma or something, it'll be like serialized like number 8,563,492. Mine has 0 serial number on it.
I really like how you started with 18 billion and then jumped to 1,000 as if million wasn't.
Hey, I mean, it might not be in the millions. You don't know.
What do you mean it might not be? You said that you started with billion and then went down to 1,000.
Yeah, you realize, like, let's say once you roll over to like a billion, all the other numbers are zeros after that. So there's a lot of numbers in between where it would be 1 billion and 1. Do you know how many zeros? Like, why would I even account for millions in that case, or thousands, dumbass?
I want you to say 0 million next time.
0 million. 0 billion, 0 millions. Yeah. Nothing exciting has happened to me. I've just been sitting here reading comics for the last week.
God, you're so old.
I've been
And
getting
rich.
into Chinese comics recently, actually.
Why?
China.
What heroes does communist China have?
Well, so it's not like typically heroes. It's more like, you know
Hentai.
how they believe in all that like meditation and martial arts and like kind of like transcending being a human
Mhm.
and all that kind of
I don't
stuff.
know if you can believe in martial arts. I mean, that's just like a
Well,
thing.
it's
You don't need
part
to
of it.
believe in it.
It's part of
Yeah.
it. You know, like the more like Taoism and Taoism and stuff like that. You meditate and you gather the energy of life and you can like transcend being like a normal human.
So their comics are like Iron Fist, but more fucking boring.
So no, and here's the reason. In China is very different than like the US or Korea or Japan or anything like that. Their heroes in these comics just slaughter people. The one I'm on now, like the main character has literally genocided entire families for somebody wronging him. And
Is that the right word? Can you genocide a family?
I don't know, like any
I don't think that's how that
relation.
works. That must be a big fucking family.
Yeah.
Well, in China, like that's actually the way it is, right? So like you wouldn't
I thought they
have
only had families of 3.
you wouldn't no you wouldn't have
Fuck.
like your the one kid
one
rule.
child policy.
Yeah. So like there'd be the patriarch, right, of the family. So that'd be like the great grandfather, and like every child he had and everyone like they all listen to him. So like you would be like, I'm not gonna say your guys' last names or anything, but like the Michael family, and you were the head of that. All your children, even like third uncles and everybody would like answer to you. So like hundreds and possibly thousands of people, depending on, would like
That's a good
listen.
system.
Yeah,
They should.
yeah. It's a very like top down system, even within the families. And typically families control regions, or like, hey, we own this couple thousand acres of land and this is what we do with it, stuff like that. So somebody pisses the main character off in this, like, probably like 20 chapters ago, he wiped out 4 generations of a family.
I would
And I like
argue
that a lot better.
I would argue that's not a hero move.
So like, here's the thing, like, whether you're in the right or wrong, think of like Batman versus Joker. How many fucking times has Batman stopped the murderous Joker and then just put him in Arkham Asylum to just break out like 3 fucking episodes later, and it's like a continuous cycle. He's probably like put Joker in the same place he's broken out of 729 times.
You have to be better than the Joker. You don't kill.
Except for like Joker is now like killed thousands and thousands of people throughout that, where he could have just slaughtered him and slaughtered everyone else who would join up with the Joker. And had he have done that, thousands of innocent lives could be saved. I'm down with that system, and I like that a lot more.
And millions of dollars wouldn't have been made.
Well, that's an argument for fucking Superman to just take out everyone on the planet for the good of the planet. That's a bad argument.
Not
Superman can
not
just
everyone,
kill
just the bad guys.
leader. Just every world leader.
Not the bad guys.
I run the world.
Just or not everybody, just the bad guys.
I'm just gonna kill everyone, and I'm gonna sit in the sun. And as soon as I hear something that I don't like, I'm just gonna shoot down and kill you, and then I'm off again.
See, I'm actually like a really big fan, like kind of like Texas. Like Texas has like a very wide death penalty. They put tons of people toward it a year, and it's like, you kill one of us, we kill you back. I'm down with that system. It isn't like, well, he only slaughtered 13 people, but like, how many bullets did his gun hold? Only like 5. So it's not that bad. If he had a 30-round magazine, we'd fucking kill him. Like, it's not like a weird California thing where somehow killing 13 people is just like maybe 25 years and we'll give him parole. Like, I don't understand that. Like, you kill some people, Like, you go out indiscriminately killing people, we fucking hit you in the head with a hammer, it's done. Like, that's my thing.
I think the hesitation for killing people is it's wrong. Like, not that killing people is wrong, but they're worried that they've gotten it wrong. And how many people get exonerated after the fact? So I think that's where the hesitation comes from. Because you're like, oh yeah, but now we have DNA evidence. It's like, yeah, okay, until in 10 years' time we realize we've been looking at DNA wrong and we've got a whole bunch of false convictions based on it. Like, every time we think we've got this new ironclad, oh, this is great, this proves everything, 10 years later, like, actually, so, no, like, we didn't understand that.
I would say that, yes, if there's doubt, no, but like, how many of these killers do we know for a fact murdered somebody, like it's on camera or anything like that? Fucking hit them in a hammer, like, just end it there.
No, and see, I'm with you to an extent. I get what you're saying at, but I'm a firm believer in eye for an eye. Whatever they did, they should get.
I'm not. Well, I mean, like, dude, let's say a dude has raped like 7 people. I'm not like hiring people to rape him. Like, that's
rape that man to death.
That is the best way to break a man. Like, if someone pisses you off, don't beat them up. You can recover from that.
You just put him in jail. Like, I know, like,
in jail with another man that will rape him to death.
Yeah, that already happens. Like, you just put him in jail. There's a very, again, top-down system in jail.
I'm pretty for the
there's the top, and then everyone else is the bottom.
I'm pretty for the death penalty just for, like, the financial aspect of it.
Yes.
But as a punishment, I think it sucks because it's over very quickly. If it wasn't so expensive to keep people in prison, I'd be all for life sentences because that's more suffering, but it's just cheaper to kill them.
Oh, yeah. We can just cut off their food supply. They can still go in jail. Yeah, we're talking like 2-3 weeks and cells open.
It's going to be a shitty 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, for them.
And we also, like, the fucking death penalty in America is just stupid. Like, the actual act of killing someone costs like $100,000 plus. Because apparently, like, the fucking chemicals you inject them with, even though you can just create them, somehow fucking costs like a bajillion dollars.
Why did they make it more expensive? How much does one bullet cost?
That's what I'm saying. 76 cents? Yeah. Oh, that's inhumane. Fucking, you put a 22 round into their head, and they're like, but what if they live? Then you shoot them again. Like,
it's a 22.
Why are you using a 22 though?
Yeah, no shit.
Because you put a 22 to a soft spot, eye, temple, anything like that, and it bounces around. It just shatters the brain and kills them.
Yeah, but like you could.
There's no through and through. Well, there shouldn't be.
You could just use it. But there should be like.
Could be.
How many people are on a firing squad? Like 8.
I'm not a fan of firing squads. Again, like
I like the idea of them because 2 people get blanks, so you never actually know if you're the guy. So if you want to be able to sleep at night, you can just be like, nah. I know what a blank feels like. I didn't have a real bullet there, and you can just kid yourself.
Yeah, see, I'd rather not put people who can't handle it on a firing squad to begin with.
Yeah, no kidding. Put me on a firing squad solo. I got this.
Huh?
Everyone thinks they can handle it until they do it.
Okay, well that's why you only hire people who've already killed a whole bunch of people.
Who've already done it.
Yeah. Like, get former military people up there who have already got like 30 confirmed kills and don't have PTSD, and like, there you go.
Solve veterans not being able to find jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
We are problem solvers here.
Fixing the economy.
One death at a time. Perfect.
We don't have it here in Australia anymore.
Yeah, no, you guys are very liberal in that aspect.
Yeah, we're liberal in every aspect.
In every aspect, yeah. It's
every aspect.
Which, like, I'm good with a lot of liberal policies when because both sides are very controlling. I always choose the side, like, in an argument that, I mean, we had like an 8-hour discussion about this.
I choose the side that comes down hard on people doing the wrong thing. I'm all for a fucking police state. Sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, you're very like communist.
I'm not doing anything wrong, so I'm all for a police state.
Well, the issue I have is when you're not doing anything wrong, but you still can't do any, like, you lose rights. because you might do something wrong, and that's fuck you in that aspect.
But I've been doing nothing wrong for 32 years, and I've never not been able to do what I wanted to do. And some of those years, I was definitely doing the wrong. I was a drug dealer for some of those years, so I was definitely doing the wrong thing for some of them. But I was never stopped from doing what I wanted to do.
Well, I mean, if you were caught and put in jail, then yes. But like,
yeah, but
in the U.S., what time is it right now? It's 2 a.m. I could not go buy alcohol right now.
I could.
Yeah, but I can, so I don't care about you.
You can, yeah. Like
Yeah,
I'm stone cold sober right now. I can't go buy alcohol because maybe somebody else might be drunk, and so like I'm losing, rights I should have because I don't know, maybe somebody else will do it. Like fuck you at that point. Like to be perfectly honest.
I don't know. We're all adults. I feel like if you can't plan to get your booze before midnight, you're sort of like there are other concerns you should have. Like, what the fuck am I doing with my life that I couldn't plan this beer run before midnight?
Okay, no. I'll argue your point.
Yeah,
I get off work at 2:15. Yeah.
yeah. So get it the day before.
But what if I didn't realize I didn't have any, and I want like to go get some?
Well, check your fridge before you fuck off. I don't know. Personal responsibility, guys.
That's what I'm saying.
You could take that into effect, but also I should
again,
just be able to.
Personal responsibility. Don't drive while you're drunk or anything like that. Or, don't start trying to control my life telling me I can't buy that. Like that's a big thing with personal responsibility. Like he is being responsible at the time. He should be able to do it. You're creating obstacles in his way that he has to work around while he's not breaking any fucking laws. And like no laws in the entire act would be broken. And that's
just like in the world, like if you put like obstacles, like considered them like hurdles on a track, right? I feel like not being able to buy booze after midnight is literally like a half step. It's not even a raised hurdle. It's literally just like a half step ditch where it's that easy to avoid. It doesn't affect me. Like I'm sure there's plenty of things I can't do, but like I can just plan around them. And I'm cool with that. Because
it's gonna depend on like where you live, what laws exist. You're not part of the EU, so I mean you can still post memes.
No one can. You guys can't post memes either. It's copyright infringement. Memes. No, you can't. It's copyright infringement. You don't own the intellectual property.
Doesn't work like that. Memes can still be posted.
So you can post it. It's just like people in the EU can post it. They just fall under the same copyright laws.
They'll go get arrested. We won't.
They won't get arrested. We can't do it here in Australia. We've got the same law when it comes to copyright. But
also, they what else? They're fucking like arresting people for fucking angry Twitter posts. Like
wait, what?
Yeah, like hate speech and
oh god.
Depends on the hate speech. I'm all for it.
I would have got banned so quick on that
and like
Discord.
Political things. What is it? The EU wanted to kick out or like ban that female French person that was running for prime minister or whatever the fuck they have there. I don't know. French president.
French is a prime minister, I think.
Yeah, the prime minister, that one chick, because she had a hard stance on Muslim refugees because of like all those gang rapes that were happening a few years ago while there was the mass like exodus from the Middle East into Europe.
Yeah, there's a massive influx of refugees. Yeah,
like she got like banned on Twitter. The EU wanted to personally fine her like hundreds of thousands of dollars. They wanted France to arrest her. They put in multiple like fuck you.
The fact you think that's any different to the stuff that happens in Hollywood, like I don't know what to tell you, man.
Me?
I don't know what to tell you.
Our government isn't okay. Listen. Like people are like fucking Trump's a terrible person and a racist and shit like that, but like Twitter didn't ban him. He still became president.
They moderate him now, though.
Huh?
They moderate him now, though.
They well, maybe I don't know. I don't.
No, they do. They put warnings under his tweets.
Oh, do
If he
they?
tweets about something stupid, they add warnings to it. It's like, and links where you can get the actual information.
That's funny as hell. But I like the fact that it's only one side of that, right?
Yeah, it's only him. It's only him.
Not all the not what is that fucking Alexandria AOC? What the fuck is her name? I don't remember.
I heard she's not going to be Biden's running mate anymore. There's apparently some chick with no legs over there that's going to be his new running mate. Rolling mate.
She shouldn't have been Biden's
I was
running
gonna
mate
say
to begin
something.
with.
Huh?
I think there is a female Democrat who is part of the army that like
Yeah.
lost her legs.
Yeah, I think she's going to be his new running mate.
I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. I see shit when people kind of like share it around, and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing in the world.
I actually don't see anything anymore. I have that many people muted on Twitter. I literally don't see anything anymore.
Like I've completely gotten off Facebook, but my wife was talking to me about it because somebody was saying some shit.
Of course she was.
We talked about this a few episodes ago, but apparently they all want to ban like some Qdoba or something. I guess.
I just got that to eat today. Qdoba.
Some CEO of some Hispanic food dip company or something like that, like back Trump. They're like, oh, we need to boycott this. And I guess AOC made a post about like, guess I need to look on how to make this homemade and everything. Then they were like, oh yeah, he's a racist and everything. Turns out the dude's like a third generation Hispanic immigrant now, selling Hispanic foods. And he backed Trump, and they're like, racist against Mexico because he wants to build a wall.
Yeah, he fucking came from there. He fucking knows. No, thank you.
Yeah, like it's just funny to me that they literally don't care. It's funny as hell. But yeah, going back,
people.
like depends on like the freedom. Like I'm all down for people having drugs to if you're just gonna sit in your house and do them, I don't care if you have them.
Nah, I'm not, because if you OD, that fucking costs me money.
I mean, if you're doing sitting in your house and shooting some meth, yeah, I'm not cool with that.
That costs me fucking money if you OD.
Well, I guess, but like people can literally get alcohol poisoning, and that's still legal. People can shoot themselves. People can slit their throat. Like, there's many ways people can kill. Well, I mean, fucking, they can eat McDonald's cheeseburgers till they die. Like, there's a lot of ways that people kill themselves. Like, I don't really like, and you're never going to be able to stop that. More people die of like heart disease in the U.S. From eating shitty food than of any other thing there is. And like, not only is that completely okay, it's on every fucking corner. Like within like 5 minutes, I can reach like 9 places that'll sell me shit that's a lot deadlier than meth in my life.
It is definitely not a lot deadlier than meth.
Or okay, the amount of people it kills.
But if those same people did meth at the frequency they did fast food, it would not be deadlier than meth.
Well,
I ate 4 cheeseburgers. I'm shooting 4 syringes.
A lot of drugs aren't pure and clean and or regulated because of the laws that exist and them being banned. So a lot of the issues with drugs are what they're cut with, what they're made with, and that's what kills people the most.
No, I disagree with that. Maybe it is over there. I don't know. Maybe you've got some hoodlums stepping on shit with some fucking toxic nonsense.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
People are constantly dying, and like from
especially
small amounts of drugs.
Made in like Detroit.
Yeah.
People are constantly dying.
With, like baby powder and stuff over here, like baby formula and shit.
Yeah, a lot of times they cut drugs with other drugs for some reason, and you get like super high and die. What's that, fentanyl? It's like killing everyone right now. Yeah, like people are fucking like selling like weed that is like laced with fentanyl.
That's because people want that.
Yeah,
they're not buying that accidentally.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. But
Like,
like,
no one's cutting weed with fucking fentanyl.
well, like they're putting it like in the papers and shit like that
Yeah,
because they're
it's
trying to get people
better.
more addicted. But if things are regulated and pure and sold and like monitored by the government instead, there'd be a lot less of those type of overdoses.
Maybe I don't know how percentage-wise how much of a problem they are.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
All I know is you can go into a doctor's office and cry and say that you were born the wrong gender, and they'll give you a bunch of testosterone and shit. But if I was to take it,
not in the
that's
U.S.
a big no, and that's fucking annoying.
That-
Not in the US.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, yes, definitely. They were calling Trump against LGBT because they took transgenders off the Affordable Care Act
Yeah.
under the of what you can't discriminate against.
Yeah, so what,
yeah,
now
we
they can't
talked
get
about this, how it's like only men and women now versus men, women, or I don't identify as anything or I identify as that. And it was specifically so, people aren't paying for you to get a sex change.
Oh, okay.
And I'm down with that.
Well, you should probably have to pay for that yourself anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a breast augmentation isn't something that is going to be covered by other people. And especially as...
yeah, that's the one I can get behind. And I only bring that up to show that I'm not flat out, no, the government knows best. Because there are times I disagree. Like, I don't think that a woman should be able to go and be like, I'm uncomfortable in my body, give me testosterone. But if I went into a doctor and said, yo, doc, I'm uncomfortable with my body, let's get some testosterone up in here, he'd be like, are you stupid? You can't get that for that reason. Go away. That I find ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can in the U.S.
No, you have to see a therapist first.
No. I'm not talking about for transgenders. I'm talking about if you're like a dude and you have low testosterone levels, you can get tested and get testosterone.
Yeah. But you literally have. I've actually had that test done.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to say it's like a range from like 300 to 1,000. You have to drop below 300 to get any.
I see your fucking beard. You are not lacking testosterone, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I had a friend. That you can get that over here as well.
Yeah.
If you want legal.
So like if you actually have an issue where you would need it, you can. Like if you're just like, hi, I need to grow more muscles.
Which is basically what a transgender woman is doing.
Yeah.
By the way.
Well,
but it's okay for them.
For them, they don't have testosterone because they're women.
Yeah.
Just be
that
normal,
probably triggered somebody.
Just be a normal gym rat and get steroids.
No, I had a friend who did that. He took a backyard cycle, and then while he was recovering, your testosterone is like at an all-time low. So he went into the doctors, get his shit tested, and his doctor's like, I don't know what you've done to yourself, but you have the testosterone of a 13-year-old girl. So he got the legal stuff after that.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
So just
how you do it if you want to.
Just do crank up until you destroy your own testosterone levels, and then you get it for free afterwards.
And you get it legal.
Hey, fantastic, perfect. Actually, smart individual.
Or
currently
stupid.
works for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm not going to say anything more than that.
No, please do tell. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not going to.
All right. So, what you've all been waiting for? The
Lance is waiting for this to crash and burn.
Q&A, the Q&A game show.
Because I know Jerry's going to get so pissed at my answers.
Questions. This is an either or for everyone out there in the audience. Either or. I will ask a question with two potential answers. We're going to take turns between them. They each get to choose which one they like better. Make points for that argument. The other person has to defend with what is left on why it is a better argument. Lance, I think this is going to be a lot easier than you think it is, even though you're just so against it at this moment. So we'll start with question number 1. Michael, you're going to get the first choice.
Okay, fair enough.
And we'll let Lance defend the other point.
Okay.
Name brand, large beers, or microbrews. Which one's better?
See, he started with a hard one because I don't drink beer. I'm going to say that big brands are better. The reason being, the alcohol will still get you fucked up and you don't have to pay 3 times as much per bottle as you would.
I'll give you a point for that. All right, Lance, it is your turn to no. You are now defending microbrews. Give us some good points on microbrews and why they would be better.
So I guess this is probably the one topic you will get a real answer on, only because I have been to a lot of microbreweries. They have a significantly better taste.
Okay.
And yes, you are going to be paying a little bit more, but for the raw taste and alcohol content, it is worth it.
Okay. I'll give you a point for that. Next question. Would you rather have a 3-foot penis or a 3-inch penis? Lance, this one's to you.
I would rather have a 3-inch.
We'll give you points.
That's the wrong choice.
Now here's why. If you have a 3-foot penis, do you understand how much blood is going to be going to that damn thing? You are going to pass out if you get a single boner. There's not going to be any sex.
You see a hot woman on the street, it starts getting up, you just fall over.
You could use that bitch as a kickstand, I guess, so you don't fall over.
All right, Michael, defend your 3-foot penis.
3-foot penis solely because no one likes going to work every day. And if you have a 3-foot penis, you're going to have a very long career in novelty porn. You're going to have to do very little for money. You just rock up. It doesn't even have to get hard. You just slap them around a little bit with it, and that's the video done. Take your $100. See you later. You pump out 30 videos in a day, you're a very rich man.
just imagine somebody swinging that thing like it.
Oh,
You ever been knocked out by a dick? Well,
you can't
Michael
tell
hit
me
6 women in the face with his penis at one time. That's the name.
You can't tell me that people would not click on a video if the thumbnail just says "man assaults woman with 3-foot dick." Like that shit's going viral.
All right, I'll give you each a point on that. All right, to Michael.
With Belle Delphine. It's gonna be
oh God, Michael.
Yeah.
Chicken or beef?
Chicken. Every time, because you can eat chicken every day and be fine, but you can only have so much red meat. That's just purely health, guys. Purely health.
All right, Lance, this one, you got probably the choice you wanted. Give me the good reasons of beef.
Nah, chicken's pretty good, man. All right. Yeah, I got nothing for beef.
Really? You don't have
I mean, it's
steaks,
damn
hamburgers,
good.
like you don't.
Yeah, it's good. I want my beef patty to come off the grill still mooing, sure, but like chicken is superior here.
Wait. You want a beef patty raw?
That's a joke. It's medium rare or rare.
Okay. Medium rare is not mooing.
That's why.
Either way, you still don't eat a beef patty medium rare because that's how you get sick. You can eat a steak raw as shit so long as you burn the outside.
I'll take a chunk out of the cow itself and start munching. I don't care.
Yeah,
I want that shit still.
Well,
moving.
That's just the way it is because like all the bacteria is on the outside. So when you ground it up, the bacteria is now everywhere to include the middle, and that's why it has a heat index to kill the bacteria. So a steak can be eaten raw because it's all on the outside and not on the inside. But
yeah, I got nothing for beef.
Really,
chicken's superior.
Beef is clearly superior in taste. But all right,
here as well. But I know you guys have different costs on stuff over there, so I don't know.
Beef's super cheap.
Mm-hmm. Beef
So
is really cheap.
I mean, we like meat here is like we just produce meat constantly.
But not lamb, right?
Not lamb, not really. No.
No.
Beef and chicken, beef, chicken, and
I think
pork
you
are
I think
our
you
three
can get lamb,
biggest,
but it's like really expensive.
Yeah.
beef, chicken, and pork are our three main staples in the U.S.
What about goat?
I've literally never seen goat sold.
The only thing I've seen goat related is goat milk. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. I've had buffalo milk. That's really thick.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, you like
Really
that thick buffalo milk. Who we
I
on?
loved it.
You got chicken first, so now it's Lance. You
I
can
already told you I got nothing for beef.
no. We're going to a different question.
Oh,
Well, I mean, Michael got a point there. Lance didn't because you said fuck it. I'm not going with it. So it's 3-2. Lance, you can come in 1 minute or 1 hour. There is no in between. Which are you choosing?
I'm gonna go with 1 hour on this one, and the reason is each woman, or I should say, every woman has a different like amount that they need to be satisfied,
Mm-hmm.
and that you can always find somebody that needs that, like 45-minute to an hour session to get finished. So that way you guys have a good sex marriage, or whatever the hell the term is.
Sex marriage. Okay. All right, fitness. You are left with 1 minute.
We actually spoke about this last time. So this is actually the answer I wanted because we all now know about my bum penis. So
when I created this, I was like,
yeah, so being there, done that, got the postcard. It's not that great. Like, it's great the first time because they get this look on their face like, oh wow, is that a thing? And then like after 6 months, they're like, dude, like fuck, you're hurting me, stop. So yeah, like
we both have shit to do. Let's go.
Yeah, but I could argue if the first time you guys do it, you last 1 minute, she's not gonna come back for seconds.
Yeah, no, that's true. You could foreplay your way around that though, trick them.
Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, like I'm working, I'm gymming twice a day. Like if I could bust it out in a minute, like even solo, I'm in. That seems like a dream.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like solo, if you're masturbating, you have to masturbate for an hour. Like you got that time to put aside.
I just wouldn't. I'd grab 2 pillows and like throw some Vaseline in between them.
Like that's my go-to when I can't get to sleep. If it's going to take an hour, that's not helping the problem.
Yeah. You ever wake up, you got time, you're just like, fuck, it's already hard to begin with. That morning wood, you just bust one out. Yeah. In this situation, you're just like, fuck, I got to do this for an hour.
And they have these things now. I don't know how they work, but I always get my partners onto them, especially if like we're not living in the same place. Like these little wand with like this little rubber hole thing at the end of it that does them in like 45 seconds, guaranteed. And I'm just like, yeah, you should get this. It's real convenient. So even if I could only last a minute, you just have one of them in the drawer. Give it to them when you start. You finish at the same time.
Yeah. All right.
They don't need multiples. Fuck them.
All right. This one, this one isn't an either or, but I will judge you.
Oh no, you judging me, the old guy. Darn.
Listen here, Zoomer. All right. So you can sleep with anyone in the entire world. Who are you choosing? All right, Michael, you go first.
Anyone in the entire world. As they are right now in 2020?
No, you can choose any.
Any era.
Any era.
Wow.
I could see Lance over there Googling.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I googled least bitchiest woman ever. You think I'm kidding? I'm not.
I'm gonna go with and this one I'm gonna get judged for this because everyone hates her. I'm gonna go with Brie Larson, but from Community era where she was cute and she hadn't lost all this popularity.
She's the stupid, arrogant blonde bitch in Community, right?
Yeah. No. That's Britta. Brie Larson is Captain Marvel.
Isn't she just like still the stupid blonde bitch in Captain Marvel?
No, she's a guest star on that. She was only in it a few times. She played a quirky love interest for Abed. So, and the reason I would do that is because now that she's such a big superstar and everyone for whatever reason hates her, I could be like, oh yeah, no, I fucked her before she was a bitch.
Larson Community. Let me take a look at who she is in Community.
You're not going to find her that way.
Rachel, the weird glasses wearing.
Yeah, she has to wear the glasses.
She doesn't look all that attractive there.
It's not about,
regardless of her being Brie Larson and already being like just this unbearable person that, like, I don't know, anytime someone says Brie Larson at this point, I just kind of cringe, as I did when you said Brie Larson. Like, I look at that and I still don't go, yeah, I'd hit that.
I can claim that I'm the reason she is that way. I could be like, yeah, no, I fucked her before she was a bitch, and then I wouldn't give it to her again. So that's how you got this result.
And that's how she became this massive feminist. Okay. All right, gotcha. Okay. Lance?
All right, no, let me ask you a question, because this will affect my answer.
You can name guys too, yes.
No. You fuck. Do you have to, like, live with this person, or is it just a bang and done?
No, you just bang and run.
Oh, all right. Then I'm going to do this off of soul my gains only. Probably go with Marilyn Monroe, just because. This is post JFK, because then I'm famous. And I'm set for life.
Okay. All right.
Which was kind of similar to the reason I was doing mine as well. Yeah.
I'm just doing mine dead president style.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
I wanted to say Belle Delphine just for the fucking
I was actually going to say that. Like, as he asked the question, I was going to say, I bet she's going to pick Belle Delphine.
Yeah.
I actually didn't write this one down, but now that I opened up this anyone thing, I have another question. You can punch anyone in the face. No repercussions. No matter how famous they are. Punch them in the face. In front of, let's just say, like, everyone in the world will know about it. You get to punch one person in the face. Who is it?
Are they knocked out, or is it just a punch to the face?
I mean, it all depends on whether you can knock them out or not. Like, you don't gain Superman powers here. Can you knock them out in one punch? Sure.
Can you go back to, is it punching them now, or can you punch them at a specific time? Okay, yep, I've got my answer, but I went first last time.
Lance. Swear to God, if anyone gives some stupid answer like Hitler.
No.
No. I'm far too selfish for that.
I'm trying to remember his name. Floyd Mayweather. I'd take my chances.
Okay. Why? Why Floyd Mayweather?
Because if I knock him out, then he can't be 51-0. Take this L.
Okay.
And there are no repercussions. So
no repercussions.
Yeah. Mine is Kanye West at the Music Awards, where he cut off Taylor Swift, because you know you're fucking her after that, and you're always the guy that knocked out Kanye West for interrupting Taylor Swift.
And you'll get a song about you, like every other guy she's fucked.
For sure.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
See, mine is
might
Bono.
Even have a chance at Taylor Swift. Boom.
Yeah.
Mine is like Bono at any point he's been alive. I fucking hate that guy.
Just born.
Bono coming out of the womb.
It's a problem solved.
That one might be a problem solved at that point.
Your abortion is finished. I didn't want an abortion. Yeah, well.
All right. Now to Michael. Batman or Iron Man? See, I originally went Batman versus Superman on this one. Then I was like, Superman's like obviously such an easy choice in this.
No, you don't pick Superman for this one. Because he's too boring.
Well, first of all, answer Batman versus Iron Man. We're going to come back to this.
I am going to go with Batman, based on not movies, but based on comic books. And the DC comic books have always been stronger than the Marvel comic books. So Batman has been involved in far superior stories.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, obviously,
punching a clown. All right, Lance.
obviously, I Iron Man, and yeah, you might have that car, but I can fly with my speed boots or whatever, and I will catch up to you, and I will kick you in the mouth, and then shoot that car with my laser beam.
See, to me, like personally, like Iron Man, like it's so much cooler. Not only can he be like an arrogant prick who goes around and is like, "Yeah, I'm Iron Man," so he's like completely okay, will take anyone on. They're both billionaires. Iron Man is like clearly far more intelligent. Like Batman doesn't make his own shit. Iron Man creates all his own shit.
What do you mean? Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He has
I mean,
like
maybe
a
not movies, but he made all of his shit in the comic books. All
like
of his
he
shit.
he created the Bat Jet in the comic books
Yeah.
and like built that thing himself.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, he's an inventor as well as a detective. There was no Lucius Fox until the movies came out, and then
Yeah, but do you know that one swift rocket from Iron Man can wipe that man?
yeah. Oh, and that's another thing. Yeah, bullets and missiles
Batman-
does nothing against Iron Man. He'll just like blast that shit with a laser.
Batman has beat Superman. Like he's beating Iron Man as well. Like Iron Man can't stand against Superman.
Yeah, punching through titanium, I could see that.
Yeah,
No, he would punch through the he'd just shut the suit down.
like
I mean, if you go versus like who have they beat? Like who have they beat? Marvel is like almost like famous for not having any supervillains. They're all just fucking dudes. Whereas Batman goes up against universe-ending shit.
I think that's
And-
the other way around. What are you
No,
talking
no,
about?
no,
Like
no.
Thanos? Thanos,
Who-
literally
who's
snap of the finger.
Who's
What?
just a copy of Darkseid.
Fucking Loki, like the literal gods. Like Marvel
Yeah.
characters go against literal gods. What's the dude that fucking eats like physically eats planets?
Galactus, who's a rip of the Anti-Monitor, which is a DC.
Galactus.
Yeah,
Fucking
but yeah, you can give supervillains thingos when you copy them from DC.
and like most of the DC characters, to include Batman, like Batman lives in a world where there are supervillains, like actual, like world-ending type supervillains.
And he goes against them.
How it like okay, you're saying there's a Thanos version in DC.
Yes, he's called Darkseid. He's
Okay,
the leader.
and
of
how
the-
does Batman kung fu his way into beating a fucking god that can wipe out the universe?
with the Justice League?
Okay, so not Batman.
Well, Batman is the leader of the Justice League.
Okay, so Batman himself does not fucking throw a goddamn bat-shaped ninja star to save the fucking universe.
But he could jump in his bat suit, which is basically an Iron Man suit.
No, that's cloth versus titanium. What do you mean?
Yeah, no.
You can't take
far superior.
So I will say, like, DC clearly has the most overpowered superhero and probably my favorite, which is Flash. But there is
Wait. If Flash is not more overpowered than Superman, though.
yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He is though.
But he's not. But he's and Flash isn't even the most. If Superman's not even the most powerful superhero in the
Flash
DC
is
universe.
the most powerful superhero in all of DC.
Wonder Woman is.
No, he can kill Wonder Woman.
Yes, Wonder Woman is. I'm telling you, there's an actual story about this, and Wonder Woman is the strongest.
Okay, fuck. I need to look this up right now. I need to understand, or I need to know the name of the punch. Flash can create a black hole and wipe out everything.
Yes, but Flash can also be neutralized by a literal dart to his spine.
Well, I mean, you'd have to be able to do that.
Deathstroke blew up a Flash's leg with a shotgun. Like, a dude with a shotgun stopped a Flash.
Well, that's just like bad writing, right?
No, it just shows you how good Deathstroke is, really.
No, that Flash can move like Flash. If at any point he wanted to, could just outrun that. Like, that's just really terrible writing. Even like the writing itself is basically Flash is moving around in a world where nothing moves around with him.
But Flash can't even stop Captain Cold by himself half the time.
Again, like, that's just terrible writing.
Because Captain Cold's gun slows down molecules, which makes it harder for him to move.
Terrible writing. He'd be able to literally fucking punch him into Neverland before he ever got to shoot the gun. But before,
Flash ain't that fast.
Huh? What?
Flash ain't that fast.
Yes, he is.
You can see Flash coming.
He's faster than the speed of light.
You can see he's not faster than the speed of light, though.
Yes,
because
he
you
is.
can see him coming. You can see him coming. So he's not faster than They may say the man that's faster than the speed of light, but they say a lot of shit. It's not true.
No, that's the reason why he can create after image clones of himself. He can literally run faster than the speed of light to go back and forth in time to go see the future, go back to the past, or create an entire army of Flashes that all are moving at the speed of light that could beat the shit out of people. Huh?
Vibrate on the spot. And also, he can't just go through time willy-nilly. He needs to use the cosmic treadmill to do that. Which, by the way, who made the cosmic treadmill? What? It starts with B. I can't fucking remember it. Oh, it was Batman.
He does not need the cosmic treadmill.
To control it, he does, yes.
Maybe to go to very specific points, but like in the middle of a fight, he can actually travel back and forth through the past and the future to create his after image clones.
Yeah, but
it happens constantly.
Can't. Yeah, but he can't because the Time Force gets very mad about them doing it.
I mean, the Time Force gets mad, but he has the power. He's done it. And that's why the Time Force gets mad. Well, and that's the thing. This is exactly why.
The Time Force is mad, so he can't do it willy-nilly. There's repercussions.
You're saying, okay, yes, there's repercussions, but like if you're going like, hey, these guys are in the death throes of a fight, and you have the dude that can literally create an army of 100 people that can move fast in the speed of light and can punch so hard they can create a black hole, he fucking wins. Period. Hands down.
Not against Wonder Woman.
He could literally end the universe in a single punch.
If Wally West hit Wonder Woman, he's not strong enough to hurt Wonder Woman. He's not strong enough to hurt Superman.
He could literally delete him from the universe with a punch.
He'd break his wrist on them.
Can...
They're literal gods. Wonder Woman is the Greek god of war. She's a literal god.
And in a single punch, the Flash can delete the fucking Milky Way.
He can't.
He can.
No, he can't because he's never done it. This is all just theoretical nonsense from nerds on the internet. If it hasn't happened on the pages of a book, he can't do it.
Lance is over there like these fucking nerds are arguing.
I have exactly zero idea what the fuck either of you are talking about. So I'm just gonna have more whiskey. Continue.
Yeah, man, I'm doing good on my own there too.
Look, I don't hate the Flash. Like, I like the Flash, but like he ain't it. Green Lantern is more powerful than the Flash.
The Green Lantern is literally the worst fucking superhero.
What are you talking about? That's madness.
Anyways, we'll move on to our fucking final question here.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to do a duo podcast of just bitching about shit nobody cares about, you can go for it.
What do you mean nobody cares about it? Comics have existed like all the
Neck
comic book
dudes
movies
that
are like
in their basement. I'm sure they'll get a kick out of it.
look at fitness.
What about me?
Wait, never mind. Yeah, fitness over there, giant comic nerd.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
found,
just some
I found
40-year-old in a basement.
You know what? I've said it once. I'll say it again. Reading's for rich people.
Well, I mean, comics definitely. Well, without the internet, comics are definitely for rich people because that shit's like $5 a fucking book.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
All right, American football or football versus soccer. This one is to Lance.
American football. Because soccer is the most boring sport. I would rather watch golfing.
I'll give you
Football, there's action. You got tackling. You got, most of the time, there's going to be hands thrown because they get pissed at each other, and it's goddamn hilarious. I could make a lot more points, but I want to see what Michael has to say.
I would have.
You
picked
have to
American
defend soccer. Sucks for you.
Yeah, I would have picked American football, but because the question was very loose, I'm going to throw while I would have said watch American football, I'm going to argue for the point of playing soccer because I want a chance at one of those $750 million a year contracts.
Yeah,
Soccer pays that much?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
insane.
things. It's not $750 million a year. Typically, it's a multi-year deal, but it's $750 million. Yeah, these soccer clubs are paying out near $1 billion.
How do they
for
have
a
that
contract.
much money? How do they have that
It's
many
the
people
most
watching
watched
it?
sport in the world. Outside of
Well,
the
yeah,
U.S.,
in the EU.
no, in the world.
And all the teams are basically run by billionaires as well.
You have to understand that all these countries that don't like American sports require a lot of money. Whereas soccer, it's literally you have a fucking round ball and anything, dirt, fucking grass, anything.
I mean, you could say the
and
same
all these
about
like
football.
super
Football, insane.
You can do it on dirt.
I mean,
absolutely.
you can
it's
do
gonna hurt
like
a little bit. Walk it off.
it'll hurt a lot more, yeah. But
Mark Wahlberg was fine.
the fucking what is it like? Yeah, sure, the U.S. gets a couple million people watching each of them, but fucking like soccer, their large matches pull in like hundreds of millions of people watching it around the world.
That's because the world is wrong.
Well, the world is
It
wrong
really
in
is.
this, but again, like let's take India, like where shit sucks, and no matter how poor you are, you can play soccer.
I think India would be more cricket.
What?
Yeah,
India plays
India's
cricket.
One of the best cricket teams in the world.
You'll
find
literally like
most
again. I've
Commonwealth
never ever seen cricket outside of really obscure like 3 a.m. ESPN 8. Fucking
cricket's huge amongst the Commonwealth.
I thought cricket was for like the UK only.
So did I. Yeah, that is well again in the US like that is not something that exists. Like hitting a bouncing ball. Huh?
You're part of the Commonwealth. You left.
Yeah. So
cricket is a Commonwealth sport.
Cricket doesn't exist. Like, yeah, we have soccer, but like still nobody cares about it. It isn't even aired outside of like world championship FIFA type things. It might be on like ESPN 4 if it's like Manchester United versus Manchester or something like that. But yeah, otherwise these sports don't get shown. Fucking polo, fucking none of that shit exists in the US. So
yeah, no. You guys have your three, right? Your baseball, your American football.
And we have baseball, football, hockey, and there is soccer, but it's not really.
Yeah, hockey.
Nobody watches it here.
Yeah.
More people watch hockey.
Yeah, more people watch hockey than soccer, and like globally, outside of like Russia, Canada, and the US, nobody plays it. So.
Yeah. Over here, we've got our.
I'm a personal fan of hockey.
Damn.
I'm not a big fan of hockey.
Yeah, you can go to hell.
Like whooping ass, like yeah.
Ice hockey maybe, but hockey, no.
Ice hockey is the only hockey. What?
Yeah, what?
No, they have field hockey. Look at the Olympics.
Okay,
Olympics field.
Listen. Like
when we
the
say
shit
hockey,
to the Olympics doesn't really count. Like,
Wait. Going to the
But-
place where the best
wait.
athlete in the world is
Yes.
around doesn't count.
How many fucking pole vaulting competitions outside of the Olympics are people watching? Like, oh yeah, sure, pole vaulting's in the Olympics, but literally no one cares unless you work on like the third floor of an office building and like the stairs are broken and you need to like pole vault up to get to work. Like, nobody gives a shit. No one watches pole vaulting outside of that.
Right? Logan Paul organized a track and field event.
I mean,
Nobody
Logan
cares about
Paul
Logan
also
Paul.
like fucking jerks off on camera and shit like that. Like, I don't know,
Let me
So
rephrase
ruggedly
that.
good.
I don't give a shit about Logan Paul.
but like
Just want to give him a
there's a ton of things in the Olympics that are never seen outside of the Olympics. How many fucking archery competitions have you watched out there? Pole vaulting competitions.
actually.
How many fucking times have you been like, you know what? I'm really gonna go turn on this fucking. What's that thing where they just like hurl a fucking metal ball?
Curling?
No.
Is it curling?
Curling is where they
shot
fucking
put. Yeah.
shot put. The javelin. Like, how many of these are out there? Tonight, main event on ESPN is the javelin. Like, nobody fucking, it doesn't exist. Like,
I can tell you
90%
right now,
of these things that exist in the Olympics don't fucking exist outside of the Olympics.
I can tell you right now, I've personally been to a couple of archery competitions. I've exactly had an audience of 0 people.
Yeah, exactly. And they're never aired on TV. Like, nobody cares about them.
Clearly, someone's not watching Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so field hockey, no, that doesn't exist.
It does. It's definitely a thing.
It's definitely just like a bunch of women with brooms and
Yes,
like
basically. Not brooms.
like, so when you're like hockey or ice hockey, no, there's hockey and then there's like a whole bunch of people with fucking brooms.
I think that's curling. I think that's also played on ice.
Curling, yeah, that one actually is. You know what? I like curling purely because I think that like you could just like get a whole bunch of dudes who are gonna drink like 90 pitchers of beer out there and still like it'd be cool. Same with like bowling. Like, there's a sport out there where you can eat nachos and drink beer and do super well at. I fucking love that idea.
I was gonna say you probably like curling just because it's kind of an old person sport.
Yeah, I was thinking old as soon as you said it too.
I mean, the same with, I guess it would be like the same with bowling.
Yeah, that's that old person thing.
Yeah, I like anything to where like you can eat like a tray of nachos and do it at the same time.
Isn't collegiate wrestling really big over there as well?
I don't know what that first word is, but yes, wrestling is.
College. You fucking.
I just want to put out, we have university here. We don't even have colleges here, and I still knew the word.
Well, how did you pronounce it?
Collegiate.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
it's
college level wrestling. Collegiate.
That's how it's pronounced.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah. So yes, wrestling's really big here.
Mm.
Not exactly like television wise, but it is like a largely participated sport
MMA
in like high school.
much larger.
On a like televised level, yes.
Yeah.
But there isn't like high school or college level MMA organizations.
No, but isn't that how they get their start?
Yeah, it is.
They do it like, yeah, there's wrestling. There's also, outside of that, not in high school or college, there's a lot of different types of kung fu. There's Greco-Roman wrestling, stuff like that.
That's why there's not a lot of. That's why, like, when you see an Australian doing well in the UFC, like this Alexander Volkanovski guy, like it's a novelty because we don't have. There are no school combat sports. Like, you can't. It's not part of the curriculum. You have to like learn it off your own bat, and there's just not many people doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, I just completely spaced on what he just said because I laughed so hard at myself here. This is completely off topic, but I just saw that we both spit at the same time, and I was like, we should change the podcast to 2 rednecks and an Aussie.
Yeah, like,
anyways,
we I wish there was more fighting, and I wish like fighting. So I give Seattle a lot of flack, because, well,
Best
they're
football team in the world.
huh?
Best football team in the world.
No, but anyways,
Yeah.
a lot of
Wait,
flack
football,
because
American football
NFL.
or
He's talking about
soccer?
NFL.
Wrong.
No, not wrong.
The like Seattle is incredibly liberal and stupid. And they have many stupid aspects about them. But one thing Seattle has is a standing law where you can challenge people to a duel. No, not with weapons. If we agreed to fight, we can fight legally in the street. And I'm down with that. And that
You can do that anywhere.
Put your goddamn
can't.
comb down. Quit talking with it.
you can't.
You can do that almost anywhere.
You can't though.
But you can.
It would be civil disobedience, civil disorder,
the cops would get called
violence.
instantly.
You can never be like, "Hey, we just wanted to fight." Like that would never.
If you
never
even
fly.
swung at somebody and missed, the cops would get called.
Yeah, that'd be.
Oh yeah, the cops would get called. Our cops over here, though, even though they can press charges without a complaint, they generally won't.
Yeah, even without somebody physically filing the complaint with like actual visual evidence of battery and stuff like that, they can surely arrest you, even if no one's going to push the charges. But in
fighting
this,
on the street is though, because if all it takes is for you to fall and hit your head and you're now in a coma or dead, which is costing me the taxpayer fucking money,
okay,
and that pisses me
you
off.
agreed to it, but I like that
Yeah,
idea.
I didn't agree to it. I'm not involved in the fight, and my tax is still going to keep this fucking moron vegetable who thought he could take a punch.
Well, here's the thing: in the U.S., that's not a thing. We don't have government healthcare, so I like the idea that when that person that is running their fucking mouth is something like, "Well, fight me then." Okay, fucking floor that dude, and then it's over, and that little punk bitch is now fucking embarrassed. I think fighting is something we need more of. I think that's why we have these fucking keyboard internet warriors, because they feel like, well, even we've come to a place in society where you can say anything you want, even off the internet, and no matter how fucking stupid, offensive it is, or not like offensive, but like stupid or like hatefully charged it is, they can say whatever they want. Like they can even say, "Oh, I'll kick your ass," but then when you beat the shit out of them, you go to jail. So I feel like it'll hold a lot more people in place with their fucking stupid bullshit. I'd even open up duels where people shot each other again. I'm cool with that too.
I like the idea of fighting, but I like it in a ring where there's an official to stop it before it gets too bad.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah. It depends on the person, I guess.
So just like on a Saturday night, right? How's this for a business in Seattle? On a Saturday night, you've just got a pickup truck that folds out to have a ring, and people it's dial a duel. They call you up like, "Yo, this guy's talking mad shit. Rock up here." You get in, off you go.
That'd work. So completely off topic. I was talking to Queen about this, and I
can't wait for her to stare you down when she listens to this.
No.
Oh.
How often does that happen?
Constantly.
All the time.
Constantly.
Okay, so
Daily.
I've been to their house before. Queen listens to podcasts with her earbuds in while she's cleaning the house. I could just picture her like mid-sweep, just look over at Jerry.
One time she wrote something in Discord, and I was like, "Oh, she's up to that part. Oh no, this part comes next."
So, we have public transportation, and we have food trucks. However, what if you had a mobile diner that followed along specific routes, kind of like bus stops, but it'd be a diner where you can like go in and get like a steak and eggs, like think of like a Denny's on wheels.
Why are we talking about this on the podcast? We should. This is an off-topic thing we need to start.
we would never do it, and that's why I'm fine. Even if somebody steals this,
None of us are
copyright,
rich
I
enough
want
to start
10%.
it.
Yeah, we don't have the money or the backing to do this. But like, think of like if there was like a Denny's
much
on wheels that had. Well, it's not even just the money. Like, I don't have the
We would
drive
need
to really
marketing.
go
Nobody would
out
just be
to
like, you know,
do
hey,
this.
let me pick me up so I can eat.
But like, let's
nobody
say
would know
you
that.
you fucking we're gonna be taking a 15-minute bus ride anyways, and now you get picked up by the mobile diner. You can have a coffee and like some fucking fried eggs on the way. Like, you definitely have to be expedient about it, like a food truck.
Yeah.
While also doing that, like, obviously, like, seating would be an issue, and you can't sit there for an hour and a half like
mean,
a
you could-
jackass just drinking coffee.
you'd
We'd
have
have to
to
kick
build,
you
like,
off at
a-
some stop.
You'd have to build like a food truck limo, but have like the food part in the back, and like have a waiter.
I mean, you
like,
could just
walk
do
out
it
like
like
a plane.
Again, food truck bus. So like the cooking section's in one part, but like,
You could put the cooking section right at the back of the bus,
yeah,
and then have people they just walk to the back to pick up their food.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it could just be, you could either stand there because they do that like on buses and fucking trains anyways. But like, what if you just did that? Like, hey, I want some hot dogs. Hey, nachos and a coffee. And you eat on your way to work in the morning, or when you're coming home, or at lunch, you're just traveling in general. I think it'd be amazing. And anyone who starts this, I want you to give me at least 10%. Or, you know what, 5% good faith for the idea.
Nah. 2% each.
Not even greedy about this. Just like, give me a share, all right? Like, hey, I came
Give
out
me a
with a
shout out.
fantastic-
Get our
yeah.
podcast out there.
Let me ride for free.
Put our
And eat
podcast on
food.
the inside on a banner.
Just get a stamp. All the food comes stamped with our logo.
Yeah,
There you go.
So, like,
DCDA.
I think it would be I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Like,
I think you'd have it with the city, because like the city would be getting some sort of kickback from the buses, and then you're going to be taking money from the buses, so they're going to be all hella mad at you.
yeah, you definitely have to work some stuff out.
See,
Because
I don't think cities would be good, because you wouldn't. I feel like people who ride the bus in the cities aren't going that far. You're not going to be able to cook the food. They're going to eat the food fast enough.
Well, depends on like what you're riding, but typically buses follow these routes that have like fucking 92 stops in a circle. So you're stopping a whole bunch regardless, so there's a lot of time. Even if you're only going like, let's say 10 miles, you're making like 15 stops in between there. And that 10 miles takes you like 25 minutes. You can get your food and eat that like really quickly. And I mean, especially because, you know, you're talking rush hour traffic.
Yeah, I suppose.
So
When I was
so long
there,
as you
I
don't
was-
get like massive meal type things, like they're quick, like hot dogs, hamburgers, things that take a couple minutes to knock out. All right, go ahead.
No, but when I was there, I was surprised at how dog shit your public transport is.
Yeah,
Really,
we
like,
don't do
especially
public transport.
California. Fucking atrocious.
Public transport's not a really big thing in the US because the US is massive.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like I planned my trip around, like not knowing that, like where I was staying in California, I was like, oh, it's only a 5-minute drive from the train station. I'm like, so that's sick. I'll just go to the train station, catch a train into the city, all good. And then it's like, oh no, the train only leaves every 90 minutes. Like, fucking what?
Yeah.
It's peak time. What do you mean?
So like,
A train is here 15 minutes, every 15 minutes here.
yeah, New York's a little different, but like most of the United States doesn't have it. And here's a big thing. Like, let's take Europe as an example. Like, in Europe, in like 12 hours, you can cross all of Europe. 12 hours, you couldn't even get from one side of Texas to the other. That's a single state.
I mean, we're the same here. In 12 hours, I can't get out of my state to another state.
Yeah.
It takes me 12 hours just to get out of Victoria.
How many states are there in Australia?
5 states, 2 territories.
Okay. Yeah.
Why do you guys do all? Why does it got to be confusing like that?
I mean,
I think that I don't know why the territories are territories.
Because I'm like right now In my head, I'm thinking 5 U.S. states and like 2 of Canada's territories.
Like they all answer to the same people. I don't know why they were set up as territories. I can't remember. It's something I would have learnt in fucking high school and then just
Well, we have
not
50
needed.
states and like 3 territories.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, we have Puerto Rico.
I don't count.
Well, they're a territory. They follow all like U.S. laws.
I know.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, I don't even know what the other ones are. To be perfectly honest, I just know Puerto Rico. Yeah, I'm humming as well. But like nobody pays attention. Well, actually, Washington D.C. is considered a territory. I think our state capital is not a state. It is in a state, but it has its own separate set of laws.
So it's like the Vatican?
Kind of. Washington D.C. is like the Vatican, but like they have no representation. That's actually been a topic over the last couple of years, that the people in Washington D.C. have a lot of things decided for them by the federal government, but they have zero representation in it, which is really weird because we have a huge thing, no taxation without representation.
Huh? Last time someone tried to tax someone over there, they threw a big fucking tanty and threw out all the tea. So yeah.
So that's been a big thing. Like, in Puerto Rico doesn't have it either, but like the difference between that is Puerto Rico was always voted not to become a state. But now they're in this massive amount of debt, and they were like, yes, we want to be a state. We want to be a state so long as the federal government clears our debt. And people are like, really now?
The federal government might not be in a position to do that right now. Fucking, I don't think anyone's got any money to spare right now.
I mean, it's not like the federal government's ever given a shit about debt.
Yeah, that's true.
No government is giving a shit about debt.
No American government?
No government in the world.
Oh, no, ours does.
So what's the debt of Australia?
Well, right now it's pretty thing. So we have like a weird cycle where our Labor Party, which is our tax and spend party, right? They'll get 2 terms, and then everyone will be sort of like, you know what, this is sort of fucked up. Like, we're going into debt way too much. Then our Liberal Party will get voted in for 2 terms, and they get us back to almost neutral. And then we're like, you know what? Like, I preferred it when the government was spending all this money. Let's vote Labor back in for 2 terms. And it's just like, why? Why do we go through this fucking cycle?
The U.S. goes through that exact same cycle, and if you look at it of Republican versus Democrat control of like our Congress. All right, so in the U.S., if you look at it over like the last what is it, like 50 terms, the Liberals have actually controlled the Congress like the vast amount, and it's only after like 15 straight years of control by Liberals, people are like, holy fuck, we need to bring this back, and they vote Republicans in, and then they like cut all that free money out, and then they, after like a term of Republicans like cutting shit, they're like, what, you're cutting our free money even though we wanted you to bring it back? And then they voted back. Like, so it was something like out of like the last 52 Congresses, like 43 of them had been liberal, and the only time Republicans come in is after like shit gets really bad. They start to clean it up, and then once it's cleaned up, they're like, we want our free shit again. And
so I just looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
In 2004, we were at 60 billion in debt, which is like fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Then when the GFC hit, we fucking ballooned out to fucking hundreds and hundreds, and we're currently at 541. We never recovered from the GFC.
What is GFC?
The global financial crisis.
Oh, okay. You guys have like a term for it, okay?
Yeah.
We just called that like a minor recession. because
just
like
minor recession.
again, the U.S. hits one like every 10 years. Essentially, like we have like very minor recessions, and even though that one was like a lot worse, and
You just use it at this point.
well, like I'm very big in we're kind of getting really close to time we should cut it.
We can just keep going, honestly.
Oh, yeah, man.
Podcast can be 2 hours.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So a lot of the rules that were passed were under Alan Greenspan and Clinton, and they didn't fall out until Bush, and everyone blames Bush for it. And there's massively like, if something bad happens and you come in and don't fix it, so there's obviously some what's the word for this? Shit. The
Mr.
word.
Smarty Pants doesn't know the word.
It, like we've talked about, when I reach for something, like I know what it is, but when I reach for it, I forget the word. Not liability.
Like,
when you're
Brett Favre moment. Is this a Brett Favre moment?
Yeah, this is a Brett Favre moment. When your responsibility. Fuck. See, it's such an easy word.
That's the word we're looking for.
Yes. Like
you did half of it when you said liability.
Like you have responsibility of it, right? So like when you come in to be in charge, even though other people made really bad decisions prior to you and you get elected in, you should come in and fix that. But we had a couple compounding things, which was A, we were forcing banks to take bad loans with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. B, we had allowed banks to invest in 2 different branches. One was investment and one was basic bank things. And we don't allow investment banks to do banking. We don't allow banks to do investment banking, which is the reason why. So like, but we had cut that out of the law. So we were allowing things like Chase, Washington Mutual, American Bank, stuff like that, to not only create these loans, which we also compounded on forcing them to take these loans, and then investing in like the markets of these loans. So even though they were being forced to take bad loans, they could invest into these loans to make even larger gains. They were selling them off after they insured really bad loans, and they were saying, hey, all these F grade loans or A grade loans, we're going to sell these after we invest in them and produce insurance on them. They'd fail, they'd recover the insurance, and like everyone was making a lot of profit up until it crashed. So even though that all happened under Alan Greenspan, which was appointed by Clinton, he continued to maintain the appointment under George Bush. And even though the Glass-Steagall Act was repealed by Clinton, which was put in place after the Great Depression, or it was put in place during the Great Depression to get us out of it because of what the banks did to cause the Great Depression. Even though that was there, like, yes, he maintains a lot of liability and responsibility for not fixing this under his tenure, but it all happened because of Clinton. And no one wants to blame him. And I know you're laughing because you're like, you stop. Like, yeah, go ahead. Ruth, go ahead.
Oh, I was just like, complete side note. Is this an off-topic thing? Like, are we done with the game show thing?
Oh yeah, we're done with the little game show. The points didn't really matter. It's like, whose line is it anyways? Like, I give you guys points, but like, I completely set up the point system itself because like I know you, and your thing is like, if I were to give you a question like, which one's better, and let's say I said, hey, Iron Man or Batman, in that situation, And Fitness was like, hey, yeah, Iron Man. And you were like, yeah, because fuck Batman. And like you just join him and like not joining and all. And well, like, yeah,
Well, it's because
the entire thing
backing
is
up
to.
something I don't think.
It's not about you backing up something you don't think.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, like literally, it's called playing devil's advocate. It's basic debate. Like
I work with the
topics.
same two dudes every fucking day, and that's literally all I fucking do.
Yeah.
Do you know what another word for debating is? Arguing. You know what I
No.
don't do? I don't argue.
Well, first, the two are not the same.
They're similar.
No, they're not. Arguing is what children do.
Okay, arguing and debating, debating is an adult term, sure.
Debating is a proper system.
There is one way to solve this. Argue to give reasons or cite evidence in support of an idea, action, or theory, typically with the aim of persuading others to share one's view. Debate, a formal discussion on a particular matter in a public meeting or legislative assembly in which opposing arguments are put forward and which usually ends with a vote. So no, we were arguing, we weren't debating because no one voted.
So
you were fucking wrong. You were wrong.
No.
Professor Google said you're wrong.
Professor Google. Again, and philosophy, something, Lance won't understand because he's a fucking troglodyte.
I don't know what that means.
Debate is built upon the Socratic dialectic. And what you should, like, the proper way to debate is the Socratic dialectic, in which you propose, like, say you have 2 points and you are trying to give a reason why the other point is invalid. And fuck, I'm looking for the word here. Again, reaching for something I have in my mind.
No, you should never argue that the other point is invalid. You should only argue that your point is valid. It's on them to argue that their point is valid.
No, it's providing a paradox. That's the word I'm going for. You provide a paradox on why the other point is invalid. So if you were like, "Hey, this is yes."
A paradox is something that can't exist.
Well, yes. That is exactly why you're providing a paradox. A seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that, when investigated or explained, may prove to be well-founded or true. So you're looking to provide the paradox to their point, to disprove it. So when you're saying, this is the best, and I say, this is not the best because... and I provide a point why it isn't. And if I can provide a point to disprove that, then you need to provide a different point.
No, but then you never make any points of your own if you're doing that.
Well, I mean, each would be founded upon that. Like, we would each have our own point, and you would give your reasons why your point is correct. But if I can provide paradoxes to your reasons, why those reasons are invalid... and, like, let's say we each have a point and we have 3 reasons underneath it. And I can provide a paradox to all 3 of your points, and you have 0 points left because they've been proven wrong in this discussion. And I have like 2 over here. Essentially, mine would be correct, right? If
but
we
that's
can,
not how debating works.
That is how debating works, though.
No, it's not. Not on a debate team. That's not how a debate works.
That is how it works. You prove the other points wrong.
No, they go up there with their own statistics and their own points to prove their side.
Their side, and to disprove the other.
But there's a difference between arguing your own point and arguing that someone's point is wrong. If
yes
you
and no.
Your own point's validity, there's a difference between arguing your own point's validity and arguing that someone else's is
in the debate team, you don't only talk about your own points, you also disprove the other.
In the term of, my opposition here would like you to believe that people are wrong, but did you know that 37% of blah, 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 which just goes back to proving your own point.
Well, correct.
You're only adding what they said in as color.
So, fuck, I'm trying to. Okay. Let's go with what is something that is
I don't know. What is something? Equal parts sum, equal parts thing. We could argue this all day.
Guns. Guns in the US is a big thing. Constantly talked
Yep.
about. So people like to discuss whether being able to own guns is right or wrong. And very clearly, a lot of people, especially in the pro gun side, just attach the Second Amendment without having any outside argument other than the Second Amendment. And that's perfectly fine.
Which
We
is a
have that
weak
amendment for a reason, right?
Weak argument because 31% of the people there didn't vote for it. So
No. It's
that's passed by a strong margin. Your Bill of Rights.
If you're discussing why you should have it outside of the Second Amendment, if you want to like look at actual statistics, people go, oh, but 300,000 people die from guns a year. But you would then go, yes, 300,000 people die from guns a year. However, 230,000 of those are suicides. So if you're saying that gun violence is a reason why people died, that's not true, because 70% of those are suicides. That would be providing a paradox to your question. Like, your point is innately wrong because 70% of your point is wrong.
But violence upon oneself is still violence. So a death from
violence upon oneself is not violence.
It is. It 100% is. Violence is.
No, it isn't. Self-harm is not violence.
Violence upon oneself is violence. Violence is violence.
What?
Violence is violence.
It's a solution. It's not violence.
I guess there might be something called self-violence under the definition: behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. But like, this is
language.
There might be something to your. There might be something to your self-violence is violence thing, but like, that is not the way it is portrayed.
I'm just saying I get the point in the debate because you said it wasn't, and then I was like, no, but it is.
But it is
violence.
Like, 300 people die to guns a year. Like, you're definitely trying to propose that like gun murder is like triple the actual number that it is. You don't murder yourself. It's a suicide.
Any loss of life is a murder to
the
community.
Fuck you.
Just think about what that person could have contributed.
That person could have contributed. I'm sad on fucking Twitter. Like, fuck you. I don't care. Like, your contributions to society are garbage. So they try to do that, and then once you derive that, they're like, okay, well, those 70,000 people shouldn't have been murdered. Like, fucking 55,000 of those were fucking drug gang violence murders. Like, at that point, like, fuck them. I don't actually give a shit. Like, gang members are going to kill themselves regardless.
That's not true.
In the U.S. it is. Well, I'd argue that, like, no matter where you are.
We have gangs here, but gang-related deaths are particularly low because of the difficulty in getting firearms. They would literally have to stab each other. And let's be honest, you don't join a gang because you're a big tough guy. You join a gang because you're a fucking pussy and you want people to hide behind, and pussies aren't stabbing each other. So,
how many people do you have in
the whole
Australia?
Country?
Yeah.
I don't know. 300 million? Maybe 300 million, I think. Oh, wait, no. I don't know why I said 300 million. I meant 30 million.
30 million. Okay, so 0.1% of the U.S. population. scattered among this like large state, and you're also an island.
It's not
You're-
that scattered. Australia is only occupied along our coastline, basically.
Yeah,
The inside of Australia is empty.
but you guys are also an island, so things are very.
I just want to throw something out there. 30 is not 1% of 300. I just want to throw that out there real quick. It's 10%.
Okay, I was my math is terrible. So you have 10% of the population.
Yeah.
30 million. For some reason, I was thinking like for 30,000 or I for some reason thought you went down to like 300,000 or some shit like that.
Fuck, I wish I'd never have to see anyone then.
Yeah, I know, right? Fuck. But so you guys are this very secluded nation where like you don't have factions really. Like everyone's still you guys are definitely like still Australian.
No. That is not the case at all. No. We actually, there was an actual article that came out in the newspaper today that said multiculturalism is ruining Australia. Like, we are very divided by race here.
So like in Florida, you have like little Cuba or little Havana, little Cuba, little Puerto Rico and shit like that. And then you just have like fucking, this is all just like in Miami. And then you just have like, hey, these regular Americans, like people will just like these giant factions consisting of like tens of thousands of people going to murder each other and like consistently in like a drug war or just like a territory war for whatever they're doing. Same thing with like New York had like all those fucking mobs in Italy and all that kind of shit. Like I'd say it's like drastically a larger issue in the US.
But you can argue that larger issue is because of the confidence that owning a gun gives them. And you can point to other countries in the world where guns are easy to access, and so is organized crime is also higher.
Yes, but there's also of
and they're not fucking nice.
The percentage of immigrants inside of the United States, like immigrants themselves, like 13.6% of the US population is immigrants. But we're also something like 50% of the entire world's immigrants. So in this term of I could be wrong about the 50%, but it's a very large number.
We're 22.2%
of the world's immigrants.
No, of our population is made
22
up
from, okay.
Yeah.
22%. Yeah. And so like the total number of like these areas, because they largely condense inside of our larger cities and areas, so like Miami, New York, LA, where these things are. Like if you took out like 6 cities, like just 6 cities of like violence in terms of like murders and stuff in the entire US, we'd be in like the bottom 10% of violence in the world.
Yeah,
it's fucking insane.
Australia has more immigrants, more percentage of immigrants in their country than any other nation on the planet with a population of over 10 million people. So yeah, like I think Canada doesn't have 10 million people though, but they've got more. But yeah, when it comes to larger places, we have the most. Okay,
yeah. So the United States has 48% of the world's immigrants.
Yeah, but you've also got a larger starting off point, so that's a bit more diluted. That's how you get down to your 15%, right?
Yeah, like 13.8% of like the entire country, because we have like 330 million people.
Yeah.
And like obviously in comparison to like the EU, where like France has 8%, Spain has 6%, stuff like that. Probably if you accounted for the entire EU, which has twice our population, they might come close to our total. No, they couldn't. They couldn't possibly because since we're so close to half, they couldn't even possibly. So even with twice their population or twice the entire population within the EU, they can't say they rep that amount. So like we have like massive cultural, like gang related wars, and then it's also based on the amount of drugs. And even though like I'm sure Australia has their drug issues with giant Mexico and the drug cartels, South America, all that kind of shit coming over, I can't imagine you guys have like that level of drug and gang related issues.
I don't know. I assume we get a lot from Indonesia because it's just above us and it's a fucking third world country, so nothing goes hand in hand.
Isn't Indonesia like currently like violently exterminating drugs?
Yeah, they always do that. Yeah. But like, so they do that because if you violently exterminate the drug dealers, you can take over the drug trade as a government.
Okay, yeah. I read something about like there was a dude and again politically like the Democrats in our country are like, oh my god, I can't believe it, and the Republicans are like, that like the president or whatever was just like hey, fucking shoot a drug dealer in the street, tell us he's a drug dealer, like that level of fucking malevolence towards drug dealers.
That was Brazil, right?
No.
Where was that?
Can't even remember. It's been a couple of years.
There was footage of people getting gunned down in the fucking streets.
Yeah. It wasn't Brazil though. It wasn't South America. I could have sworn it was over there in like Indonesia.
No, it wasn't Indonesia. No, it was somewhere else. But isn't that how the CIA makes all their money?
Drugs? That is actually how they made a ton of drugs or a ton of money in South America. Yeah, they made a ton of drugs too because they backed all these people.
They run guns and drugs, right?
That's and they actually like brought the shit in and sold it in the inner cities to cause more stress. Yeah, the U.S. definitely works against itself constantly in this terms. Like, it's fucking gross.
I watched Safe House again the other day. That movie's fucking great.
I haven't seen it. Never heard of it, actually.
Washington and Ryan Reynolds?
I like Ryan Reynolds, though, so.
Yeah, fucking who doesn't? What a man. I just want to kiss him.
What a fucking dude.
I don't know who that is.
Deadpool.
Van Wilder.
You seen the movie Waiting? No. Fantastic movie.
Yeah, but Dane Cook's in it.
I like Dane Cook.
No, yeah, you fucking would. You would like Dane
What's wrong with Dane Cook?
Everything is wrong with Dane Cook.
Well, give me more of an answer. Again, provide a paradox to this.
Okay, so Dane Cook's entire routine is to get halfway through a punchline and then either throw himself on the ground or wave his arms and put on a silly voice and never actually finish the joke. That's Dane Cook.
I haven't seen. Okay, well, I'd argue he definitely has punchlines and finishes jokes.
Trust me,
I've listened to. I listen to the audio. I don't really watch the videos or anything like that. And he constantly.
I loved Dane Cook when I was 14, and then I listened to real comedians, and I was like, oh, what is this?
I mean, jokes are funny. Jokes are jokes. Like if you're gonna like compare them, that's kind of nonsense to me.
Jokes aren't funny. Jokes have different target audiences.
I mean, if you're a fucking vagina, sure.
Dane Cook's target audience is women and children.
I would largely say things that people consider jokes aren't jokes. Depending on what you are. Like, let's say you listen to Lisa Lampanelli. Then you're
that to yourself.
Then you're not listening to jokes. You're just listening to a fat white chick go, I like black penis, because that's literally her entire skit. I'm a fat chick that just loves
what Lisa
fucking black
Lampanelli-
dick. That is
That's
like
not-
literally
that's
all her skit is.
That's Amy Schumer.
Same, no.
Lisa Lampanelli's not fat.
Same. Yes, she is.
Is she? I swear
Yes.
she's not.
She is.
I must be thinking of someone else.
Amy Schumer, same exact thing. I don't even think she puts a racial connotation on it. I don't know. She loves making vagina jokes. But Lisa Lampanelli's entire skit is that she's a fat white woman who likes black penis.
Oh, that's Lisa Lampanelli. It's one I was thinking of. Like, she's kind of cute, and I'd totally bang. So definitely Amy Schumer.
You're probably thinking that one that Jimmy Kimmel was fucking while he was married, right? You know that dude whose fantastic stand-up morals of the entire Liberal Party, who was cheating on his wife that bared his kids with that fucking skinny little anorexic drug dealing vagina comedian as well.
I know who he is. I just didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. What the fuck is that bitch's name? She's fucking unbearable as well.
Wasn't Whitney Cummings, was it?
No. Yeah, fucking. Let me do this.
I was thinking of Natasha Leggero. Who 10 out of 10 would bang. And she'd say thank you at the end.
She's not as high up here as I would have.
You know, there's an easy way to do it. You just Google.
I was Googling something. A specific thing. And it didn't come out.
I can't find it. Maybe you were wrong.
No, I'm not. Give me a second. Give me a second. Like, it's who the fuck is this bitch?
I don't think you cheated, mate. I think you're slandering the good name of Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
He was on the Man Show. He's a national treasure.
Jimmy Kimmel girlfriend. Oh, okay. Here it is. Very first one. Ex-girlfriend Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman. I said her.
Did you? I didn't hear you say that. You named like 9 other women. Sarah Silverman. The first thing I googled was unbearable women comedians. And she didn't come up. Amy Schumer was number 1, and then like it was like these very old women. There's some other people I've never heard of. I assumed Sarah Silverman would be number 1 because her jokes are like, haha, abortion, right? Fucking love it. Like,
I kind of back that one. I'm a kind of yep, I do. I love having that.
That's not a joke though.
Draw.
Like, fuck it, I'd have so many abortions. Like, that's not a fucking joke.
But I on another level, I would have so many abortions.
I mean, that
every time.
I'm not gonna argue that like political point. Like, everyone has their own, but like that's not a joke.
When you download Tinder, it should come with a 50% off abortion coupon.
You know that
that's a joke about abortion. That's a joke about abortion.
That is a joke. Just being like, I'd have 300 abortions isn't a joke. Like, you're just kind of like representing.
Angled your business be after 300?
And just like I said, like, is Lisa Lampanelli like, I like black people. That's not a joke. Okay, so what? That's not a joke. There's no punchline. If there was a redneck comedian who was like, I own 300 guns. Where's the fucking joke in that? I voted for Trump. Okay. I mean, for some people might consider that a joke. But like, that isn't a joke either. I like NASCAR. Like, where's the fucking punchline? Where's your joke? I watch golf at fucking 6 a.m. in the morning. I really like Jack Mickelson. There's no joke to this. You're just literally stating what you like. You're not a fucking comedian. You're a fucking dumbass.
You're basically just going through a Dane Cook CD right now. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Oh, shut the fuck up. He definitely has jokes. Like he kind of just tells stories. Like his girlfriend that would always say literally. There was literally 3 million firefighters. Were there? Were there really like 3 million firefighters? They wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Hey, get out of my way. Like he tells stupid jokes, but like if you experience that in your own life, like my story about my wife who talks for 45 minutes. Fuck. I found the perfect meme about this earlier, and I can actually share this in the Discord and bring it up at the same time on stream, which is actually perfect. All right, I'm gonna put this in general so you can look at it. It's a thing about Donald Trump, but this is kind of like the way my wife talks.
But like,
how does this look on there?
I can't see anything.
Can you look? Well, you can't see it. I'm just saying. I was talking to myself, but
okay,
you see that?
That's really helpful in a podcast.
Well, I mean, you'll see it on the podcast. We're not up on the podcast, but the thing.
But
you see that meme? That is how my wife talks to me, and that was what I was trying to explain on the last one. Oh, you're talking about like voice wise. Okay, I get it now. All right, let me come back. It says I'm going to start answering my parents how Donald Trump answers questions. How does he answer questions? Well, there's a lot of ways he answers and a lot of questions that need to be answered. And one of my close friends asks me, a good friend, he says, and I tell you, he's good. Close friend. He says, are we going to answer some questions? And you see this guy, and this guy's got some real questions to answer. We've got a lot of real, important, good questions to answer. That's what it's like when my wife's telling me a story. But like, if you present that, like, that's a joke. Being like, haha, abortions, right? Like, that's not a fucking joke.
But that at least makes sense. Dane Cook's making fun of his girlfriend for using the word literally in the same way that F. Scott Fitzgerald and Charles Dickens use the word literally is not fucking fun. It's not. If F. Scott Fitzgerald can use the word literally to mean figuratively, then Dane Cook's dumb fucking girlfriend can as well. All right? That's what I'm just saying.
I mean, he can just express how annoying he thinks it is. And like, if you have that in your own life, you also,
But literally has been used as a stand-in for figuratively since 1847. It's not new. It's not annoying. It's just what the word fucking means.
I mean, anything can be annoying.
Yeah, like Dane Cook stand-up. I agree.
All right. Well, I mean, I agree to disagree on that one.
Very passionate about this.
I find him to be like, well, I haven't listened to him in probably like 15 years, but it was funny, and there was definitely a bunch of skits that like I could agree with.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's like the best comedian. Like, I'm a big fan of like Mitch Hedberg, who is just like the king of one-liners. I fucking love that dude. I wish he didn't. Well, I mean, he was a massive drug addict, so the fact that he OD'd and died, like, completely saw that coming. Just saying. Yeah, we all saw that coming. I heard that towards the end of his career, he was like not even facing the audience. Like, he'd go out there, grab the microphone, his back would be to the audience. He's just like telling jokes.
Yeah, it's a different level of fucked up.
That dude was constantly fucked up. But like, you don't know Mitch Hedberg?
No, I'm not familiar with him. It's probably before my time, like most of your references are.
You're not that much younger than me.
Yet I seem so much more youthful.
Yeah, okay, bald guy.
That's a choice.
This is a 2-on-1 here.
I can physically see your hairline, and you're both balding, by the way. I can physically see your hairline because you're balding. Don't talk to me.
Wait, hold on. My hairline stops here.
You,
Your
you're-
headline.
and then it goes.
Your headline stops 6 inches higher than mine does.
And yet I don't have this massive V shape going back
But
to the
like-
middle of my head.
Your hairline stops here. You don't need a V shape.
Listen.
It's just half of your head.
No, I've got a forehead. It's a forehead.
5. That's a 5.
I've got 4 fingers, jackass. It's definitely a forehead. I've got like a tiny
we
bit of
also
a
have
receding
widow's
hairline.
peaks.
Tiny
That's
bit.
how widow peak is.
You have a widow peak, and then it goes. You're definitely. You guys are gonna be bald at 40, and I'm
You know
gonna
what
have this same amount of hair in my deathbed at like 90.
Okay.
But you know what hair loss is related to, right? You know why some people lose hair and some people don't?
I don't know. Give me a clue here.
It's testosterone levels in the body. So it's the same reason that women don't lose hair, because they have no testosterone, like you. Whereas men lose their hair.
Listen.
So you're basically a woman, is all I'm saying. That's why you don't. That's why your hair's all there.
Yeah, man. Maybe it's just a lack of steroids on my part.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, you could tell because like every fucking bodybuilder ever is always bald, because that's what it. Yeah, it's testosterone levels in the system. So
I mean, I'm sure there's like massively jacked dudes with a lot of testosterone that haven't lost hair. Like from what I can tell, testosterone, or not, it's not testosterone, it's hereditary.
yeah, that's what they want to tell you, but it's the testosterone. It's like being a man. That's hereditary. That's what it is. Like being a fucking man.
All right, Lance,
Need
give me
pills to
something.
get
You haven't
up.
talked for like 30 fucking minutes.
I'm getting real tired. I gotta go to bed soon because I gotta
Yeah,
work tomorrow.
we're near 2 hours, anyways.
Are we really?
I've been recording. Well, I mean, I started earlier. Like, I went and took a shit. Lance went and did whatever he did. Fucking, but
Are
like,
you already recording there?
No. I started recording like a little bit before we actually did the introduction, but like it was definitely before I went to the bathroom.
I need to eat another 2 times and hit my second gym session for the day.
But yeah, we're over 2 hours on the recording, so it's whatever.
Wow, fucking long one.
I mean, I could definitely sit here and talk with you guys constantly. Definitely more than a lot of other fucking people out there. Like,
especially when I'm awake.
we could do like daily podcasts if like we weren't so fucking.
It's only me. I'm the one that's on the other side of the world.
You're on the other side of the world, and you've also got like a swing schedule.
Yeah, which is frustrating.
Yeah, so not only are you 14-hour difference in time, you've also got something like some nights you're available, some days you're available. so there's that too. And then Lance works nights, and I mean, I don't fucking do anything right now. So
you could chop me out for the days I'm not available, like from someone from the Discord. Like, let's have a look. Who would be a good fit for you two to talk? Who's this Glocked guy? I reckon that'd go really well.
yeah, I imagine that would go fucking spectacularly.
Yeah, I don't mind chopping out for him.
Now, I would like to find some other people we can introduce as either guests for 4 people. And I actually asked that one dude, Greg, I was talking to you guys about, but like he never got back to me. Like I asked him a question, and like he just, I could tell he saw it.
Dude, I know a good one. Minx.
If he wasn't in Qatar right now, I would definitely get him. But
isn't he back soon?
Deployed.
He's deployed for another few months to Qatar.
Oh.
So I would definitely like to get him on because, like, yeah, that man can talk more than me, which is fucking difficult because I talk constantly.
What you gotta do is when you find a topic, like, you know what would have been great when we were doing the simps topic, if you had have actually gone onto a forum and found a simp to come on.
I give money to women because I want to fuck them, and like I just don't see there's like an actual defense to it. Yeah,
Intervention.
An intervention for a simp.
Yeah. Why are you spending your money? Oh, she might notice me. You know who will definitely notice you? A fucking hooker.
Yeah. Like after I spend $23,000 on Pokemade, maybe she'll go out on a date with me or at least take a picture with me. Like I don't physically have like a I don't know. I don't think I could even talk to that person. I think it would get really heated if that did happen.
I think I would have to take their side for the lols. No. You know what? I agree with you. This is a good plan.
All right, guys. Fantastic talking to you again, and I'm sure we will continue to talk off the podcast. Everyone, you have a fantastic week. We'll see you guys in another week, or we won't see you, but you'll listen to us.
Mhm.
I'll see you. If you slide into my DMs, you'll see a lot more of me as well for only $3.99.
We taught him the wrong. I need to figure out what's like how to do lighting better. Like I'm super like lighted in comparison to you guys, but like also I'm super shiny.
I'm using a
so. I'm so shiny. I've got 2 actual fucking like photography lights. But like
you could have a pre-podcast shower.
It's not so much about that. Like I took a shower 2 hours before the podcast because I woke up at midnight.
Why do you do this to yourself?
So the reason why is because like
Wait, have we stopped or are we still going?
No, we're still recording.
Right. I'm not going to check my Tinder as you speak then.
Like
not polite.
Because I don't have like a whole lot going on and I'm waiting to hear back. So the FBI job fell through. I'm still waiting on a couple other ones.
Shame, because I was going to get you to send me a mug.
An FBI mug.
Yeah.
But the other ones I'm waiting on, and before that, like I don't have a lot going on at the very moment, so I let my wife sleep in. So then whatever she wakes up, if she wakes up at like 11 a.m. or anything like that, I'll go to bed at like noon or something. So, you know, and I take care of the baby for like the first 6 hours of the day, then she'll take like the next 6 hours, and I can't really hold these discussions for the podcast, whether I'm doing like gaming channel videos or anything like that at the same time, because like imagine I'm trying to like play a video for YouTube and then like you just hear from my 2-year-old in the background. It'd be super annoying, especially in the podcast or anything like that. So podcast is definitely like super late. We'd need to look for like outside times, like when I do actually get a job, because like I can get any job basically that I want, but I want something within the amount of money that I want. Like sure, I could take up something that makes $20,000 a year, or I can kind of like wait around for something I know is going to pay $85,000 a year, and not have to like, even if I take like another 3 months, like that 3 months of like not working at the $20,000 a year job is like nothing if I pick up the $85,000 a year job. So it's whatever, and I've got plenty of money.
Well, fucking pitter patter, figure it out.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. I am trying to.
I want to get an au pair.
Dude, an au pair would be amazing.
Do you know? But like, I would totally fuck my au pair.
Well, you're single. Like, if I won the lottery, dude, like I've talked to my wife and she disagrees, but I'm saying like we just get a whole bunch of like hot and naked women who would be like the maids and everything, like just literally like 20 women. They do the cooking, they do the cleaning, they manage the giant mansion, but they're completely naked all the time. She says no. But I figure if I have like $300 million, like maybe I could get like 3 at least.
If I was dating someone and won like $80 million or something like that, the first conversation I'd be having with them is like, I'm happy for you to stick around, but I want you to know that monogamy is not an option anymore. You need to be aware of this. Because I have $80 million. What's left other than non-monogamy? There's nothing else.
So you know how we were talking about like when the wife is listening to the podcast and when she stares at me, that is definitely gonna be one of those things. Okay, but for real, everyone, goodbye. That's the end. Have a good one, everyone.
Well, that's fucking.